the tutorials. Today's video we show you a tip to make the skin painting much easier and better. So before we starting about it, one of the important thing is the geometry. If you have a low vision, it's going to be good to make it easier to painting the area, and we will also get the smoothness result. But the important thing is you have enough loop or polygon to this area it's going to move. But if you don't have, if you have a high vision of it, it is also possible. We're going to use the painting tools more to make it, and we have a lot of place to work with. But sometimes you need to be a bit more careful about the painting to getting very nice smooth result. But it is possible. The best one is a geometry with a low poly but not polygon to do the skinning painting weight. So for now, to starting, you have two options. One option is you getting help from Maya to make some of these, and the second thing, we're going to make it manual. So now we want just get help from Maya to do this. Of course, select joint, shift select the geometry, go to rigging, skinning, and bind skin. There are also options with there are a video with a different type of the bind skin inside Maya. You can find in the channel. So we just use the default setting and we're choosing this, and the fall off is one of the important things. Maybe about 18 is good. What is mean? It is meaning to create kind of fall off to it. By default, if I just check the geometry, of course it needs to be fixed, but it is not very bad. But if I look into the painting, paint skin weight, I use always the color information, which is, I don't use this because this one gives you more detail affect the area there are. So it is not bad, but it needs to be actually go ahead and clean up. Sometimes can give problem with this blue area because the head, when it moves, sometimes it can be influencing by the other joint, and if it is more in one joint, it cannot move correctly. So it is better you making it to the zero. So, but this way, of course, you can also use the smooth tool if it is this area and all kind of things. That is a way just to go ahead and fixing it. So the important things when you want to painting some things, I always use this for the low polygons, and if you want to work with a high vision, so it is better you using like these other two because it gives you more smooth result. But if you have low polygon, this brush is better. And the replace options is one of the things we're going to use, but it came in the next I will just show you it in the other one. Okay, so now it was this how we can fix it very quickly, but how it is about the manual, the technique and tip we have there. So to do this without we checking every single joint and check it if it is influencing this area and so on, so it can be a long time to fix it. The fast way is if we can go to the painting tool, selecting one of the joint we want and give this, let's see this joint, I want to give all these information to this. Of course, I'm going to paint, replace, and go to the 1 and floor. What it does, all these things, all this geometry now be moved by this joint we have selecting, which is joint 10. From there, I can now go to the painting tool. So now we need select the joint, but before we selecting the joint, we need to go to the painting skin, paint skin weight, and then select the joint there. And here we can just start. Always is better way if you just starting from bottom to the up. And I know every joint have non-effect in non-area. So there are two options. You can paint and you can also select. The select, you can select the vertex to do this. There are also a video about all these different type of the function. But for now, we just painting, okay? But some cases is easier to do select, like the area if you want to make it by the head. I'm going to also show you this later. So now we have painting the first one. As you can see, when it is low polygons, so when we have the low polygons, it is easier to go and paint. If it was the second one, it's be harder. But if it was a high vision, you can just use the smoothness, or you can use these kind of brush. But for now, it's good for this. The thing now I will do, I think looking to, okay, where it need to be twist. Of course, this one, it should be moving there instead. But let's see how much place we have. So the places you want to look to is actually, let's open the node. So you need to know. Of course, it is not percent, but I just type it 0.25 we have, and 0.5 and 0.75 and actually 1. Okay, which is this value. So that is 25%, 50%, 75, and so on. So the thing you need to look at how many loops I have. So if I have maybe 2 or 3 or how many it is, can I use from 1 to this? Can I use them all? In this case, if I just put, okay, maybe 75 here and 50 here and 25, as you can see, the twisting is not be correctly because there are not enough loop to paint. So to have it a better way, or better, in this case, I have now not so much loops. So in this things, I go jump this over and use the 15, and it will help it to make it. But anytime, the function is, you can just say 100, how many loops you have, so you know which kind of different things you can get. So let's say we have 3 loops. I just open the calculator and let's see, we need to have 100 divided by, let's see, we have 3 and we're getting 33 by 3. Okay, so to know what we can start with, you're starting by, now see, the end, it shall be 3 plus 33 and 63, and the last one 33, which is 909. Of course 3.3 it gives you more exactly, but in this way you know which value you need to find. But make it simple. If you have a lot of loops, you can use all of them. If you have not, so you can just use the 1 and 0.25, and sometime you can use 0.15 if it needed to. So that is how you choosing which value you want to have. For now, we just put 0.5, and then the brush size by holding the B and make it smaller when you came to smaller pieces, and you can of course go ahead and selecting these loops and replace it. So something like this one, and when we look into it, okay, now I can see this area I have forget to paint, and of course here it is. Go ahead to the painting and need to be 100 once again and painting it. Make sure everything has painting nice. By the selecting mode can be easier to do this, but for now, you can see, yeah, it is just like very simple one. It is not very correctly. Maybe we need to have a lot of or more loops here to get a nicer version. This way, I think they are important when you're using the low polygons, you're checking these loops. But let's see, I like this effect. So what I do is go ahead and lock this, which is very nice feature. So when you're locking this one is be exactly the same things. So I don't need to calculate it when I'm going to paint this one. So how it is, what I mean, if now I'm going to selecting tool, then I don't need to go ahead by using this system for this area, of course. But for this one I need. So I can just go by brush, painting, and not painting all the area I would mean. Just make undo if you're painting the other things like this, because you're going to get some of problems. Okay. So here the thing is, you think, okay, why you have painting all of them, because it is not all of these one is going to do. You cannot see it now, but if I change to this and go back to this, you can see we get the same result, because this one has been locked, and now we can actually go ahead and do not thinking about it, because Maya have locking these influence and automatically can find which one it needs. So the same things here we're going to do and going to log it and so on. So that is the idea about it. So the second thing I will show you is the select tool, which is this one. There are two options. The first things you need to do, undo selecting the joint. Here we want, you can of course select kind of these and press shift and what type it is. It is like these and like these icon in the keyboard. So shift this, it will do this, and if you just do press only this, it's going to undo it. So that is a way to selecting a different part of the vertex. We won't have this selection. What it does, you can just grab the area they are head and selecting it. Yeah, and control shift holding if you want to add more, and if you want to remove, just holding control and remove things. So just you get the idea. That is a selecting tool it will do. So we're going to paint a skin weight tool. Go ahead now to the painting, select tool and paint. Now it has been selected, and from here I need to turn this on now and select the joint and go ahead press 1. So in this case, the ear and the inside of the mouth, if it is gums and something, so all of these be selected easier. Of course, I have not selecting this. To painting it, you cannot paint it because you have selecting some of the vertex, which is kind of other way to protect some area. But for now, I want to paint this. I need to go to the select, deselect, and go to the paint one again and object mode. And now I can go ahead and painting the different area. Go to the vertex one here and double click on this, it will do it. And you can also use the edge if you want, and then holding control and to the vertex, So that is two ways to select the loop, but the first one is better. Okay, so that was the kind of idea about the skinning tool. The second thing we want to look to is this. We now using just default Maya skinning. Okay, and of course the same thing, I just give the influence to something this joint. So we're going to the tool to select, and then we just putting it to be 100%, and then selecting this, and here it was. So now we have very high vision of it. So as you can see, we're getting very like hard polygons. So this reason you can find which one do you want to use, so you will get more smooth, but remember, not so much smooth. So you need to know which smoothness you're looking for. But even, I mean, this one is better. You can just paint the area do you want. Okay, so very quickly we do this. And then you can use the smooth tool, holding shift or press this one or click on this. You can also getting it, and you can just smooth and so on. So the second thing we can do this, I just undo some of time. The other way is actually I go ahead and paint the area I want, which is the hand there. Okay. So then instead I use the smooth manual, I can just press this and use this, flooring it. So what it does, it will also do nice smoothness in this area, but remember, sometimes I can remove kind of influence, but it is not so much, as you can see. So that is another way if you have high vision of polygons to painting it. So simply tips was this. Of course, if you have like pieces in this, you can adding it to your joint and painting it at the same time. So that was the quick tip about it. The important thing is just know when it is low polygon which kind of number you want to use. If it is like 100 divided by the loops, and you will get the number, it was 33, so you can think the last one is 33, and then I need to use 66 and 99. And of course it was 3.3 if you want to have it exactly, so you just know it. But that is this you're going to use, plus 33 plus 33. So that is a way to know it. And if it was like 2 loop you have, you can type 2 and 1 and so on. Okay, so thanks for watching.